Hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here and showing interest in the topic that I will be speaking about at this year's TEDx Pickering in Singapore, which is emodiversity. Given Singapore's incredible cultural diversity, I'm really excited that this is what I'll be speaking about. And I'm coming to you now from another one of the most diverse cities in the world, New York City. In this video, I would like to bring your attention to what I consider to be Emodiversity 101, and that is the subject of emotional intelligence, or as I also like to call it, emotional literacy. This will give you a great foundation for what I will be talking about at this year's event. As I'm sure many of you do, I think of TED conferences as platforms for modern day storytelling, the kind that used to be done in the grand forums of ancient Rome and around a fire in Native American tribes. And one of the most powerful tools through which we tell stories is the metaphor. So I would like to give you one now to enable you to better understand the relationship between emotional intelligence and emodiversity. I invite you to imagine in your mind a tree, a healthy looking tree with very strong and thick roots, a strong trunk, and a crown that is dotted with young green leaves. And think of this tree as a symbol for our emotional lives. The roots are our handful of basic emotions. The trunk represents the pathway of these basic emotions through time and evolution. And the leaves are our emodiversity, this multitude of new, refined, and diverse emotions that are still quite young and underdeveloped. Now, my talk will be exploring the subject of why emodiversity matters and how and why we need to bring it into maturation in order to thrive. But for now, I would like to take you back to our basic emotions. Now, those of you who have seen the fantastic Disney Pixar film Inside Out know that we have a small number of what we call basic emotions. And these are joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. Now, for the most part, psychological scientists around the world agree that these are our basic emotions, emotions that cut across all cultures and ethnicities on our planet. Now, stop for a second and take in just how much of a unifying fact this is. That if you were to meet an individual from halfway across the world and describe to them your, say, anger, they would understand the emotion exactly, even if they wouldn't be able to understand the language in which you were telling them about the emotion. And speaking of language, language is actually how I would like to get you to think about your emotions. And what is the purpose of language? Well, communication. And what does communication do? Well, connect. So I invite you to think about emotions as yet another language that you speak, a universal one that provides data and information not only to you, the person experiencing it, but those around you as well. And learning this language really well enables you to not only connect better with yourself, but the world around you as well. Now, our very basic emotions at first developed to help us do the one thing that we're all wired to do, and that, of course, is to live to see another day. So it wouldn't be surprising at all if the first emotion that we ever learned was fear. There's nothing like a good dose of it to get you running for your life. Now, in situations in which hanging around and fighting was worth a shot, we needed anger to give us the energy for it, and then disgust to make sure that we didn't poison ourselves. And as we move into joy and sadness, we begin to get a sense of how emotions began to serve the communicative purpose of a language, since conveying these states to others would bring us great benefits. As we then start moving up our tree trunk, we see the evolution of humankind resulting in more complex brains, much more complex social systems and interactions, and the parallel need to develop a much more complex emotional language as well. So as we climb into the crown of our tree and enter emodiverse territory, we encounter complex emotions such as awe, shyness, empathy, hopefulness, regret, shame, and many, many others. And some might even call these emotional states, not simply emotions. Now, I will be telling you much more about how and why we need to become fluent in our knowledge of these states and how they bring to greater mental and physical health. But this is all the information I'm going to give you for now. Now, I invite you to consider how often you experience more than just those 5 basic emotions, and also get to thinking about what complex emotions you would like to experience more of in your life and how you would go about doing it. But for now, goodbye, and I hope you have a great day.